Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Dominions 4 in the 7-person free-for-all series. We're playing as Shinuyama, and thank goodness... by the way, it's turn 44, and thank goodness today I Seen You Before back to talk intelligently about all the things which I've been so fumbling over. So welcome back, and how are you doing today, I Seen You Before?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Tortuga. Thanks for coming back, and I'm glad to be here.
I'm really glad that you're here too, because I don't know, I just everything looks the same now. After 44 turns of this, I'm starting to see everything in a blur. It's all just one turn. I can't tell the difference between the previous turn and the next one anymore. So hopefully you can spark some clarity in this. Okay, so the only things I have to mention for off-camera stuff, like diplomacy stuff, is we continue to pester Ulm for more gems. I just again, we want one more term of gems from him, even though we just got a whole bunch last turn. Tortuga-san and all his group is going to be leaving, but we still have Kennen, the province in the very far southeast of our territory, which has the lab and plenty of things to actually conjure up with water. So I think that's what we're using the water gems for. But, I seen you before. We'll talk about that in a second, so let's forget it. Now we've finished research and conjuration. Let's go to this. And we've switched over to construction. Now, I think the last time we talked, or I've mentioned a few times that we're just moving into Living Fire. We were getting level 7 of conjuration for, Living Fire. Is there anything you want to add about that for, the living spells?
Well, basically, if you had some experience with Dominions 4, everyone lately, well, not lately, what am I saying? I can't speak today, sorry, my bad. So basically, everyone who has some experience in Dominions 4 multiplayer will realize that the elementals, even the lesser ones in the early game, work as a great unit on the battlefield. I mean, most of them trample. The earth one tramples, the flying one not only tramples, but it also flies. The water one tramples if it turns into an ice elemental, into a cold province. And finally, the fire one deals AF effect damage and radiates heat. So every version of them going to the normal sized elemental is very strong. So living fire, living clouds, living water, living earth are all variations of the same spell, but you get a bulk of them.
I see. So what you're saying
it's
is...
very cost efficient to use.
So Living Fire is basically summon fire elemental, but times 4.
Times 4, yes.
Okay, I got it. Okay, that's good. And now we're switching over to construction. Do you want to explain the method to our madness here?
So basically, going for constructions, we're going to try to make a reach out for weapons of sharpness. Since we already naturally have an access to high earth, it should be able to help whatever troops that we have summoned into dealing armor piercing damage, as well as I believe it becomes magical armor piercing damage once you buff them. And the AF effect of 25 means you can pretty much buff a whole squad. So about 4 to 5 goblin shaman with earth would be able to buff up a whole army, which will make your melee weapons even more harmful.
Now, with that, our Shuras, for example, they wouldn't be impacted by this because they already have magic weapons.
Yes and no. If they end up fighting, someone with a lot of HP, he'll probably end up negating the armor. But since the Frostbrand mostly one-shots everything, it's like, it does help, but it's a bit overkill.
I see. Okay.
But it's okay. They'll probably get buffed because they're close to the frontline units, so that's normal. It's a boon. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's what we're going through there. So that's research. We have now cast Summon Bishop Fish. This is, I believe, done in the underwater province.
You can go to Commander, and it will show you the province where the Commander is and where he has cast the actual spell.
This is true. In fact, what I want to do actually is not spoil our battles. Oh, do we have any battles here? We have Sea of Karassos. I don't want to go to it because then it spoils the results of the battle to be able to see if we won or not.
Just do it fast like a ninja.
What I'll do, I think, instead is...
Here we go, guys, press M.
We'll just start viewing the battles. I don't even know if these are useful. Okay, so Ulm killed the Blackhawks that were raiding his lands. That's not really important, so we won't go into that battle.
No.
The Nidian range, I think this is worth seeing just because Agartha does have a big army in this one. I don't think that Ulm is able to put up much of a defense, but it still might be interesting to see what kind of army that they're collecting. Do you want to talk about this?
So basically, Agartha is using a strategy of using his statues as a front line to soak up all the damage. The Magma Children on the sidelines to go ahead and flank and possibly crush whoever is in the middle or head straight for the back. And the rest of his sacred units over there at the left, the guys that looks like snails, they are used to just basically act like a wall, like a front line, a bit like in the same fashion that our Vine Ogres are doing.
So why are
Most
they on
of
the
his
back then?
damage doesn't come from casting spells. His damage comes from his units.
I see. But why are these guys in the back if they're part of the wall? I guess they're less part of the
They
wall.
are, yeah, exactly. They're less durable than the stone
Statues.
guys.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's that battle. We can see what the end result of that was. So I guess they lost 4 Magma Children. I didn't even see how they lost 4 Magma Children. But I didn't think the Magma Children were even hit. Must have been a spell or something. Okay, Vanheim, this is interesting, not because there's a real battle here, but this is our look. This is our method of viewing Man's army. Because it's just a scout, but we'll pause real fast and we'll just look at Man's army. What do you have to say about this?
Well, it's so he did spread out his mages. It depends on what spell those guys are gonna cast. They seem to be casting Iron Warriors. That does buff up his units. However, if you're using Iron Warriors, I would move the mages closer to the melee, because what's gonna happen right now is that they'll either buff the Iron Warriors that's right in front of them, which will be the Longbowmen, or they'll buff themselves, and the Knights won't get any of that buff. Second thing is that I think that the line of Vine Ogres is spread out a bit too thin. I get the feeling that he could have used either double line or simply split them in 2 squads to shield the Longbowmen. You don't need to shield the Knights because their whole job is basically to attempt a flanking maneuver, right? So essentially those Vine Ogres on the top part in front of the Avalon Knights might slow down the Knights because they might need to go around it.
Oh, okay.
Lastly, I believe he also brought his Pretender to cast Flaming Arrows. Yeah, as you can see, there's a bunch of air and fire gems, so I believe he's gonna combo probably Flaming Arrows together with aim, mass aim. His sorcerers, it's a bit dangerous to do that. I never recommend doing that because when they're clumped up together, if an arrow hits that square, there's a high chance you end up losing a mage. Those mages are the most expensive, slow to recruit one, the Crones of Avalon. Basically, they have really high nature magic, but also high air magic. They can be used to either spam sleep clouds or try to go for a Thunderstrike strategy. So it's possible that he might be setting up a Thunderstrike, and the aim would counteract that for his own archers. Lastly, the Vine Ogres at the back, I believe they have been set on God Commander. If you wanted to do that, I would have just given them like 4 or 5 Knights of Avalon to just guard the commanders. Let the Vine Ogres shake the damage because they're a bit more expendable than the Knights of Avalon. So that's my prediction of what he's scripted on doing.
Yeah, so the question I have about Thunderstorm, which you mentioned, or possibly doing that's not going to work very well against Vanheim, right? Because isn't Vanheim going to be doing the same thing?
Pretty much. If you notice that you use Storm, they'll also use Summon Storm Power. So it's technically, hey, I summoned something on the map for you to buff yourself.
Yeah.
Like one strategy that I like doing when I play Middle Age Man, it's actually one of my favorite nations, would be same thing, Vine Ogres. Use the Knights of Avalon, definitely. Use your Longbowmen, definitely. But in that situation, you should actually be using a lot of nature magic. Since Vanheim uses a lot of elite troops, what you have mostly is walls of unit and Longbowmen. So you have to trust your Longbowmen to do most of the damage. You have to avoid having a front line falling. The Knights of Avalon are pretty much a niche unit, but should be used not really as a front line, but more as flankers.
Okay.
Once you have that set up, you spam nature magic to make the enemy fall unconscious, because you have a strong front line but doesn't deal a lot of damage, so they'll take a lot of time to die. Secondly, The last thing that I would also do, since it's also a natural thing and Vanheim doesn't have fire magic, is I would be assigning a few nature 2 mages, which we have a lot of. Like we have Marvers that usually spawn with nature 2.
Hmm.
I would make them use wooden warriors in an effort to buffer protection on the Knights of Avalon.
Hmm.
I believe wooden warriors could put them at around 19, if not 20 protection on the Knights of Avalon, the guys on the unicorn.
Uh-huh.
And come on, they're already at 18. I think that gives them 20, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you combo that with the first attack is 4 attacks in a turn, so in a square. So it's really strong. They have
Yeah.
recuperation. I really enjoy the Knights of Avalon, but sadly, you can't rely on them for the whole game.
Yeah, so it sounds like their magic, middle-aged man's magic, is a little bit on the weaker side. Because this is why I'm getting that impression. You're saying use a
Definitely, middle-aged man's magic is on the weaker side, and even if a very experienced player plays it, it's still not that good.
I see.
Because you see those little Logarian wise men guys, not the monk, the guys at the back that kind of look like a sorcerer.
Uh-huh.
Those guys, like the Hamish sorcerer guy. So the thing is with him, when he spawns like that with 1 earth and 1 nature, there's not much to do with him except get him to buff your armies. So
Hmm.
it's very micro intensive. If you want to be efficient with men, you gotta basically build labs in safe provinces, recruit the Logarian wise men, hopefully get the good randoms, use your capital to always get crones, even though they're kind of bad, and hopefully you try to put a global up first, because you do have a lot of nature gem that's just lying around. So yeah, that's what I would do.
I see. And now I think the man was obviously really hard pressed to do that, considering his start, right?
Hmm?
Just the fact that he started next to the wasteland and also sandwiched between Vanheim and Agartha, and even to a degree penned in by Ulm, like all the good land around him was contested, and the only area he could readily expand was a wasteland, right? So I kind of, I don't want to. I feel like we were very surprised, for example, that man lost his only throne. But in hindsight, I've been like looking at the picture a little bit more from a wider perspective, or like taking a bigger step back. Man was in such a poor shape to do anything. I just recently was just to do diplomacy for this for the last, like, this turn and last turn and all that. Man was saying that his extra income is only 250 more, and I think what he means by that is what he gains is only 250 more than his upkeep. And I'm not sure that sounds actually correct. We'll only know after the game is finished and stuff, but it sounds actually correct because he has just like no provinces with real income.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Das was dealt one of the worst cards in the game. Like the place where he spawned, if it was Asphodel or Ermor, they wouldn't really care.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, he that's true. He did not get any good provinces.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I never understood up until today was why the fort on the throne was destroyed.
No, he never had a throne in he never had a fort on his throne. That's just the mystery to
Oh,
us. He never even had one.
okay, because I think what happened was the resource thing. But right now it's a tough choice and a tough call to make because you
Right.
have cap only sacreds. Like I mean cap only recruits, which are the Knights of Avalon. I've been in that situation before, but given the fact it's a multiplayer game and it's a victory point, you're better just of building a fort, forgetting about the resources lost there, and you get a cluster of forts. It's really easy to defend, right?
Yeah,
Because your
that's true.
capital is right next door.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll look at Satala, which is kind of a funny place where Vanheim had some troops. Not really any troops. I think they had. Was that it? Okay, this is only
That's
funny
probably some.
because we also attacked this spot. We didn't coordinate with. Okay, last turn basically what happened. I am going to go to this province and just zoom in real fast. Last turn, what happened was I moved in from. I saw the units in Amphalia, And I realized because they can't get to Satala that they'd be going to Sonria, which did happen. I didn't realize that Baral had forces and they moved into Satala. Now, I kind of already went against what I said about spoilers, but let's just look at what happens when Ulm is left and we are still there. Now, I already messaged immediately as soon as I saw this turn. I was like, I got to message Ulm and make sure he knows that we didn't mean to attack him. His only response was, I'm just saddened by their poor performance. I'm just sad that they showed themselves for cowards and routed right away. I then responded, well, I'm very actually grateful that they did because we didn't cause too much damage. Thank goodness. We only killed 4 units total, and it could have been a lot worse. So,
We could have killed everything.
Yeah, so this was 30 plus 10. Thank goodness we only cost him like 40, 50 gold or whatever, but I guess you can say I cost him more than that because we took the province, and that's going to deny him the resources, the income for that turn. But I'm giving him a lot of money, so I'm not sure he's too upset. Last turn was the time, I don't know if you remember, we gave him 1,000 gold, so he's probably not too upset about a little gold loss right now. So, okay, next we have Iron Range. Is this a useful one? No. I think that this is just province defense. Might as well just go to it now. Yeah, so he's retaking his lands. Vanheim actually retook... What? Griffin Spires? I guess they did. Interesting. Okay, I did not realize that this happened. Actually, I didn't see this, or I probably did and just don't pay it any mind. So Vanheim still has a sizable force wandering around. I'll let you talk about this.
Vanheim's force is pretty dangerous. The Valkyries, he's definitely using them in the right way. They're not even waiting for one turn. They're immediately attacking the back. Same thing with the Devils. So those flyers represent quite a lot of danger to any backline or any archer nation.
Wow, that was a very quick battle. That was just instant decimation. Yep, that's scary. So he has that back. I don't think he has... The funny thing is that last turn, Ulm actually asked if he could keep Griffin Spires for the income because he's so starved right now for money with all the province defense stuff and like just basically this war with Agartha and Vanheim it's maybe affecting him worse than anybody else. I mean, surely it is because Vanheim, for whatever reason, is not really attacking our provinces or Man's provinces. They're just going after Ulm. Yeah, I'm happy about it in one way because, okay, fine, we'll just slowly eat all of Vanheim's territory. But I'd rather Man be attacked, honestly, although I guess Vanheim probably realizes Man really is in a strong position to contest them, although, okay, I'm sitting on the fence pretty strongly here because I'm going to go back on that by saying, well, at least Man has gotten to his capital, so... forgot what I was trying to say. Just really wandering in and out of my own thoughts right now. That's why you should be talking.
No.
Okay,
no worries.
We'll go to Sea of Crossos to distract the viewers from my incompetence. And I'll let you talk about it. Well, never mind. You don't need to talk about this. This looks like it's over before anything
So
really...
this is an overwhelming force killing a province defense of 3.
Did you want me to watch that again in slower motion, perhaps?
Yes, so slow motion.
Okay, and Phalia's next. I don't know what's going to go on here. This might be... I think this is the remainder of the Blackhawks. Yeah, this is. So Ulm is... Actually, this is not a bad battle. If they actually fight. Go ahead.
I think he's gonna summon elementals.
We have heavy cavalry against Blackhawks. I think I know how that one goes.
The Blackhawks will die.
Yeah. They don't die as quickly as I thought, you know? Okay, there they go. Is that a big Blackhawk?
Yeah, that's the leader of the Blackhawks.
Huh. He's a great hawk. He's still gonna be dead. So nothing's really going on here.
What spells? What does he have on him? Right click the Vanir. Oh no, he's a thug just like us. There's a high chance he's gonna win this.
We'll find out.
Yeah, you can put it on triple speed because it's gonna be slow.
Okay. What? What?
What? Oh, he got so unlucky. That's a 1 in 40 chance of that happening just now.
Wow. Was it just a morale hit?
No, it's just a lucky hit because he was misformed. So one guy had a lucky hit breaking his misform. I think the other guy had a lucky hit of a javelin.
Wow. Well, that's all the battles. So
He
now.
had 32 defense and misform. This doesn't usually happen. Like you just witnessed something rare.
I don't even know what to do in this moment. People will ask me 10 years from now, Tortuga, where were you when that Van Jarl was hit through his mist form? And I'll be like, you know what? I was recording an episode, watching it.
And we had a scout day on top of it.
That's right. I saw it. And we are now bringing this news to everyone through this episode. Like, we are the reporters on the scene, bringing you guys this news. Not quite live, slightly delayed because of the 5-turn limitation, but you'll see it eventually, and then you'll be as affected in your lives as we are in ours from witnessing this. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a rare form today. Now, we were talking about, you were saying we could show them Kennen to what was it? The something or other.
The battle orders.
Is that what it was?
The battle
Oh,
orders.
the bishop fish first. This is the blue water fish.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we'll get to so we finally have cast summon bishop fish here. That's going to move to Fever Fens. And we are now finally, this is turn 44, and we're finally casting summon bishop fish in Emerald Lake. So turn 45 is the first turn we were even possibly capable of taking Emerald Lake and Fever Fens. But that's kind of true. I mean, we could have brought in our Prophet or our Pretender, but without those two, those are the only two options we have besides casting Bishop Fish, right? Does Shinuyama have any alternatives to a Prophet or the Pretender themselves?
No, unfortunately, that's one of the weaknesses of Shinuyama. They don't have a lot of Holy Free units. In fact, they have close to none.
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to make that point that we're kind of starved for the ability to even take thrones, but this nice little trick, which I think is going to end up working out very well, thanks to icing you before. So next turn 45, we'll be able to actually claim both of those, and then turn 46, they will actually be in our possession. So we really waited to the very end to do this. Do you want to talk a little bit about what we're doing over here? I don't think this is not our final formation. We're not really going to script it, but it's starting to look decent. It already has some kind of form to it just because these different armies at varying points had to be formed up. But I don't know what else we I mean, it's already 23 minutes, and what more do we need to talk about? This army is moving out. The entire exodus of our forces. We're on my command, we're leaving and moving towards Eni Emerald. That's interesting.
Wait, I'm having a small technical problem. I have lost the live stream. No, it's back to normal. Yes, sorry about that.
No problem. Basically, I'll just briefly mention that this is, I think we calculated the last turn one. So basically this is 44 to 45, 45 to 46, 46 to 47, 47 to 48, 47, 48, 49. So 49, they leave there now, they'll get here on turn 49. So that's why we have to, if we want anybody in the homelands to be part of the Eni Emerald skirmishes, wars, whatever, up here in the north, they have to leave now. So we're actually doing a grand exodus. Everyone is leaving. Everyone, this is really a grand exodus. I really mean it, that every single one of our troops is leaving. Well, except for Fusashige, who's going to stay to cast Summer Lines one more time. But I think we also have one other person coming here, so they'll be a little bit delayed getting up. But yeah, and we're also talking a Feasible next turn. Yeah, this is also interesting. I don't know. Do we ever figure out why Ephesbor suddenly lost their fortress?
No, no. But we guessed that maybe it was a random event.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know there were random events which destroy castles or fortresses. Or I mean, I'm
Oh
pretty sure
yeah,
it was a
those are
fortress.
usually the saddest ones.
But the other alternative is there any way he could have destroyed it himself?
There's a way to manually do it too.
So we will probably, I mean, let's see. Is Vanheim, what kind of territory does he have? He has, I mean, he has luck too. And this is, I mean, with luck too, I guess you can still get unlucky. We've seen his luck with the Van Jarl already. So,
Yeah, because having luck increase turmoil increases the rate that you have events.
yeah, it's true.
Luck increases the chance that the event is good, but also increases more events.
That's
It
also
doesn't mean
true.
all
That's
the
also true.
events will be good.
That's right. It might even be statistical. I don't. Do you remember what the increase of the number of events is? We can probably even. It might even work out to
It
more.
depends on the game settings if you put it on common events or rare events.
Okay. But like just having more events means that yes, of course you're still going to have more. He's probably having a lot of good events, but it also means he's going to have more bad events. Proportionately, he'll have more good events than bad events, but he's still going to have more raw bad events than if he had just not taken luck at all. Right? That's what we're saying.
No, like the majority of events are going to be good, but they're also going to be bad events. It doesn't mean that bad events won't happen. But taking both of those skills increases the chance that an event happen,
Yeah.
and also increases the chance that it will be good. But it still increases the chance of events happening. So if you're unlucky, it's gonna be a bad event. Which is why fortune tellers, like units with the ability of fortune telling, they usually counter the bad event and prevent it from happening.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Well, that's useful. All right. Well, let's see. So attacking into Feasible, we're moving the last of our troops. A few of them are moving out here to even move down to Perenna to maybe help out with our march through the undead to get to a Feasible. I don't think there's much more to say about this turn. We're leaving to the north. We're advancing. Kind of at the limit of advance though, as far as like Man. Although it's weird that Man didn't decide to take Grey Mountains or Giant's Rest here. I assume that they're not very well defended.
I think he's going straight for the capital.
This is free from enemy he just needs anything here. Okay, this one is well organized, but this one is free from enemy units.
It could also mean that right now it's free, right? But on this turn he puts province defense.
It's possible, but that one's been. I mean, obviously, Man was here, and then he was here, and then he was here. So it's been 3 turns since Giant's Rest has not been given any province defense. And the reason why I point this out is just to say maybe it would have been in Man's best interest to just attach a small force to take Giant's Rest and then reconverge with the army sieging Vanheim. It's more income. And if he's so starved.
A small force to go all the way to a feasible taking Vanheim's province, actually.
Say again?
I would have detached a small force to take Giant's Rest, Grey Mountain, Darkswood, then go to a feasible.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think Man's really in the running for possibly ascending, but I'm quite interested in if he's bored. And this is all his territory under the treaty. He's supposed to be taking this. I understand why he's not immediately, but... So what are the things we can look forward to? Well, I guess our big exodus north, so we'll be... I mean, any Emerald looks like... We just need to make sure we can hold out against any kind of attack from Man, if Man decides to try to stop us from ascending. And then I guess this Tortuga-san has his work cut out from him. First wading through all the waves of undead, and then seeing if we can get to a feasible in time. Is there anything you want to add? I'll give you the closing words if you have anything.
Nope.
Okay, good. Nope. Good closing words. So we'll just call this video to a close then. And until Turn 45 comes out. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.